Hi guys, so today we're going to be showing you my route that I do when I run Reserve on Escape from Tarkov. You may have noticed I've been I have been away for a while. Let's try that again. Try and keep my words in order, I do apologise. Anyway, we're going to be doing some Reserve. I'm going to show you the route I do when I play. I'm just going to show you in offline mode. I'm not going to bother medding because it's just offline mode. In fact, let's just make sure I've got no fractures or anything. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go for Reserve. Now when you're doing this, there's two ways of doing it. Either do it during the day, which is higher risk. If you can do it during the night, it's what I would recommend. So, the thing about doing it during the night is if you've got a good enough monitor, or you've got your brightness set high enough on your monitor so that you can see quite well in the dark, you're a lot harder to see, and you can still see what's going on. So I'd personally recommend trying to go for it in the dark. Personally, my monitor, I have my brightness quite bright on most games anyway. But in Escape from Tarkov I do as well, and it means that I can play, in the evening or in the late night in game, and still see what's going on. So what I will say before we start is this route is based on Pastilli's route that he showed running Reserve on his YouTube channel about a week or so ago. It is quite heavily based on that route, but it does deviate from it slightly. So we've started off here at the weather station up at the dome. If you start up here, it's always worth, while you're here, jumping inside this room here and checking this safe right here, because there's probably going to be some decent stuff in here. Nothing this time, we're on offline mode though, but there's some intelligence on top of there. There's also two filing cabinets you can check here. Filing cabinets are the one big change from my version of this route to Pastilli's version. I try and check a few filing cabinets as well on the route. So, assuming we spawned up here, we're going to run straight down the mountainside. Check those cabinets I just showed you first of all. If you spawn anywhere else though, basically if you spawn over in this area of the map, try and get to where we are now, and then head in where we're going to go. If you spawn over the other side of the map, you can sort of do the inverse of what we're going to do and start on the opposite side and make your way backwards. Either way, we're going to be extracting at the manhole cover, or the manhole, which is just over in this direction over there. But either way, you're going to be getting back there anyway. So ideally, if you're trying to do this as quick as possible, you want to spawn over there on that side of the map so you can just run straight across, straight into the manhole. But, it doesn't always go like that. So you either want to head to this building here first of all, or the other one I'll show you in a bit. This is the Queen building. And once you're in here, obviously it's pretty much just the same as you've seen in other tutorials. You want to check these, I guess they're server banks or radio equipment banks. Check these boxes here. There's some military cable. There's one of those. Oh, there's two of these things. These things are really valuable. If you see these, drop everything else. These are worth like 100 grand each. Maybe even a little bit more than that. The COFDM transmitters. So yeah, these two things here. You can also check these shelves here. Can occasionally spawn things like capacitors and various other things. Military cables there. What I will say is the amount of stuff you're seeing spawn here is probably not indicative of what you'll see when you're playing. I am playing in offline mode and the spawns do seem to be better in offline mode. But we're going to carry on up here next. So after you've checked all those different banks of radio equipment or server equipment, whatever it is. It's not servers, I don't know what it is, it's sort of like old radio equipment. Check this room here. There can be some decent stuff spawning on here and here. You can also get medical stuff spawning in here, or some condensed milk like that there. This is where the route deviates slightly from Pastilli's. So this room here is worth checking because there's various like building materials like tubes here. Around here as well, you've got these helix cables or pipes, whatever they are. These shelves here are also worth checking for those kind of things as well. You can often get fuel cans spawning in here, all sorts of useful building materials. Now these rooms here I generally don't check. We're going to head straight down to the end of this corridor here. And as same as the other route you've seen, you want to check this table here for a documents or an intelligence actually. Check these shelves because some things can spawn on there occasionally, they're quite rare. Same with these shelves here. And what we're going to do here that's different is filing cabinets, right? Filing cabinets seem to be really worth checking. Before I start recording this video, there you go, there's a horse. Before I started recording this video, I was doing this route including the filing cabinets, and in 4 runs I got 4 Rolexes. So it's definitely worth just checking the filing cabinets, and all those Rolexes were from filing cabinets. What you'll also find in these filing cabinets is you've got to get a lot of useful items you're going to need anyway. Like, for example, those cables or things like that, T-plugs, that sort of thing, which you're probably going to need. And they can sell for a little bit of profit, but you may find you need them anyway for something you're building in your base. So once we've checked that room, we're going to head downstairs, same as you've probably seen before. Check this room, check the floor next to the cabinets as well. See if there's anything on the floor. Something can spawn on here, some things can spawn on the desks. Check the filing cabinet. Yeah, nothing really worth looking at. check the boxes. Check that up there. Check on top of this. Get some capacitors there like that. Check this room here. These spawns on the floor here. There's a spawn here, and on top of this equipment around this area. On the boxes as well. Now, is this the room? Yep, with another filing cabinet here. Things can spawn obviously in the filing cabinet. Definitely worth checking out. You may find as well, if you're a low level, filing cabinets are a fairly decent way of getting a little bit of XP together. Because they can give you quite good XP, especially if you do the old trick of basically take it out of your inventory, put it in, and drop it in again. That's just, I don't know if that even works actually on this pack, but I just sort of do it habitually. You come to this room here, there's a toolkit. Toolkits at the moment, nothing spawned at this time, but they're worth checking a lot of the time because you can get those valuable building materials from them, which people are really wanting to farm at the moment. Check this room here again, all the servers on top of this box. I keep calling them servers, they aren't servers, the equipment, let's just call it the equipment. Check all the different bits of equipment here. There you go, there's a military circuit board, that's worth a good load of money. Check this here, as you've probably seen, things spawn inside it. If you just sort of aim at the centre of it, you'll see the name of the item come up if there is one there. Another military circuit board. This room, generally I have the most luck with, like I have done today with this here, even though it's in offline. You know, 2 military circuit boards and a filter, that has happened in online to me before, you know, that exact same set of items. We come in here, there's another set of filing cabinets, but there's 2 in here. Worth checking all of these. It does take a while, but you know, if you've got the time and you're wanting to do this route anyway, it's worth doing because you can get Rolexes and other valuable items in there, you know, chains, things like that. Okay, we're going to head over here. Worth checking up here because there's an AK spawn on this area where we are now. May as well check the box while you're up there as well. You may have noticed that my route compared to other YouTubers' routes like Pastilli's for example, mine's a bit slower because it asks you, you know, check these things because you might as well. You know, it's sort of, I suppose, lower risk. You know, there's a good chance you're going to find something in one of these places if you check all of them. Teapot there, always worth checking. That scav body as well, he's worth checking out. If you're here, why not? You know, I'd estimate this whole run will take you about, I mean, Pastilli, I think on his video, I keep mentioning him, he's a good YouTuber, I do watch a lot of his stuff, but on his video he mentions it takes him 8 minutes to do his run, which is very similar to this. I'd guess this one is probably closer to 15, probably get a bit further down if you're very quick at it. But it's still definitely worth, you know, checking everywhere you can because there's going to be little things you miss or there might be something you find that's worth it, like a suppressor or some medical supplies you're desperate for. I always check this room because you can get suppressors and things spawning here. Medical stuff obviously spawning in that bag there and on this table. Head upstairs. This room, there's stuff you can spawn here, like muzzles and suppressors and that sort of thing. And then I check this room here. Now this spot around this satellite dish here, always worth checking. Very slurry today, I don't know what's going on with my speech. There's some more of these here, these transmitters. Are they transmitters? Yep, signal transmitters. 2 of them there. I've not seen 2 of them spawn before, but it's fairly common to see at least one, you know, good item spawn around this satellite dish. Definitely worth checking it out. Oh, there's another one of them there. On the tables, didn't realise they spawned on the tables as well. But yeah, as you can see, it's offline mode, so we've got extra lucky, but 3 of them here. It's unlikely to get that in online mode, but it's still possible. Not really sure how that satellite dish would work, because there's sort of walls in the way, but okay. Anyway, we're going to jump out the window here, as you've probably seen on other videos, in here. And these shelves here are obviously great for computer parts, things like a Tetris you can get spawning there, various other rare electronic items. There you go, there's a Tetris. Various other rare electronics spawn on here. Definitely worth checking that out. Duffel bag as well. Duffel bags are worth checking in these 2 computers. And then once you've done that, out the window. We're pretty much now trying to make our way back towards the, you know, the manhole. But if you are feeling up to it, there's this building here. Most of the rooms in this building are worth checking, especially if you've been hurt. Medical stuff can spawn in a lot of these rooms. There's also a weapon box here that you can check out on your way through. There's also a spawn in here with a weapon box, and you know, these rooms are just generally checking for their shelf stuff like weapon attachments, all that kind of thing. And then once you've done that, heading across here, run through this camp area, check on top of those boxes there, there can be sometimes valuable stuff up there. In here, on the tables, you can get medical supplies and other rare things like condensed milk, which are worth a little bit of money if you're still looking for things to fill up your pockets with. Would be careful, there's often scavs spawn in this area, so running through this area you do need to be a bit careful. You can either take the more risky route by going through this here, or you can do what I often do, and just cut through the fence here. Stay down in the trench here so you aren't, you know, easily shot by the scavs off to your right. Have a peek up here. If you do have to fight the scavs, I would be aware the scavs at the moment can see through grass a lot better than you can. So do be aware of that if you are going to fight them in this area. And that's it. Once you get back around to here, scrape yourself on the barbed wire as always, and here's your manhole cover, or manhole. Well, there's a manhole under the manhole cover, but head down through the manhole and you've extracted. Now this stuff here, say we'd done this on a real run and we'd found all this stuff here, we'd be looking at least 200 grand from that run. And we'll have the time here showing now at the end. We'll see how long that took. So that entire thing, it says it only took 9 minutes. So about 10 minutes. We didn't check everywhere, obviously. We didn't loot the filing cabinets either in this example run, which you would do if you were playing properly. But you get the idea. It's worth checking out all those little rooms along the way as well. There's a few weapon cases if you wanted to go for those as well in a lot of the rooms we went past. Definitely worth checking those out if you are, you know, thinking, why not, I'll try my luck, go for those as well, because you can get things like suppressors or scopes and that sort of thing, which can be worth quite a lot of money. But yeah, hopefully I'll be getting more Tarkov content out for you soon. I've just not been feeling like it, but I'm going to try and get back into uploading content as regularly as I possibly can. If you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a like or a comment down below. All support is appreciated, especially since I've been away for so long. I do understand people are going to be, you know, not super interested in the channel. I get that, but I'm hopefully going to bring things back and hopefully we'll have more content on here soon. Anyway, if you've enjoyed it, as always, like and comment and subscribe, or do that rating thing that YouTube used to have back in 2006. If you want to do that, yeah, let's do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.